here, and today we're with another story time with Penguin and his
Yay.
his creepy encounters. Another one, like with the rake one, but not as much I don't know, but it still should scare the crap out of some people. Well, it scared the crap out of him, that's for sure. Um,
Oh, Jesus.
you's gonna tell like what, two stories today?
Yeah, one's really short and one's, decent,
Yeah,
you
one's
know.
decent, one's really short, and that's gonna be today's story. And we are gonna have a third story time today by my friend Mr. Turtles. He just came up at the end of the last video, if you tell, but he wants to tell a story, so we're doing that after this one. And let's get into it, man.
Cool. All right, so I'm gonna start out with the short story first. Basically, when okay, I have a brother. I'm 13, and my brother is 23, so he's 10 years older than me. And when I was just a baby, he was, probably 10 years old, but he used to sleep on the couch a lot. And when he slept on the couch, he could look down the hallway, and this is in our old house. We live in a new house now, but he could look down the hallway and see a creature, almost like a Slenderman looking type thing, but not exactly. It was just a completely just silhouette, just black, almost like a shadow person, if anybody's ever seen one of those. But it just a completely just black figure, close to 8 feet tall, because that's how high our ceilings were, and it was just inches away from, the top of the ceiling on the ceiling part. And he said he always talked about how he used to see those all the time, like right beside my dad's door, or like right beside my dad's bed. And then as I got older, I started, seeing them a lot as well. And my parents told me about a time when I was about 4 years old, just learning how to talk, or three, I can't remember. When I was just learning how to talk, basically, we were all watching a movie, and I looked over in the corner of the living room and started crying and started talking about how the guy in the corner is scaring me, and he's just really creepy. And there was nothing in the corner, like absolutely nothing. It was just the darkest corner of the room, and nothing was in there. And they told us that nothing was there, and I was just screaming and crying and kicking and throwing a fit, telling my dad to get him out and to tell him to leave because he was, freaking me out and everything. And so one night, I was about 5, my brother was about 15. He was sitting on the couch, uh, and I walked into the living room and I told him that I was scared. I kept hearing noises. And he was like, okay, well, I'll go back there and chill back there until you go to sleep. I was like, okay, thanks. So on our way back there, we looked down the hallway and there's something standing, right beside my dad's door. Well, we get, pretty freaked out, and then it turns around and walks into the door. So him being, the wannabe tough guy he always wanted to be, to look like a man, he was like, all right, I'm gonna go in there. And I was like, you have fun. He's like, no, you come with me. You. So basically, me and him both walked in the room, and there was this just silhouette, just a black, straight black silhouette sitting beside my dad while he slept, and we could see it only because there was still a lamp left on in the hallway, like there was a hallway lamp. It was left on, so we could only see it just a little bit, enough to just tell that there was a guy standing right there. And it was just so creepy. And then it made like a weird noise, and it was just we just left. We ran to my bedroom, and we just kind of laid there and just was horrified until we fell asleep. And then we told my dad about it the day after, or that morning, and he, of course, didn't believe us. I don't give a shit. But he didn't believe us at all. And that has happened a ton of times, like while we lived in the old house. But we moved to this house I live in now in 2009, so it hasn't happened since then. And my brother doesn't live with us anymore. But anyways, so that happened. And the next story, yeah, basically, that stopped happening after we moved out of that house. So I think the house had something to do with it. Maybe something happened in the house. I don't I don't know. It was just weird. The next story is about me and my friend Jacob that happened last year sometime. Like, I don't know, it was when it got cold. So yeah, just a few months back. But we were over at my Aunt Doris's, which I've talked about my Aunt Doris's, I think, in certain videos. I don't know. I think the last video, last story time I was in, I think I talked about it. I can't remember. But we were over at my Aunt Doris's house, and she ain't lived there in, I don't know. She died in like 2009, so she ain't lived there since I moved here. So 2016. At the time, she hadn't lived there in 6 years, And the last person to be in there was my Uncle Vic, who was her son, and he hadn't been in there for probably about a year and a half, maybe 2 years. So no one is in there, and there's cinder blocks in front of the door, okay? So if anything's in there, we would have known because the cinder blocks would have been moved. But the cinder blocks were still there, and we kept hearing noises inside. So we looked through one of the windows, and we saw this door that led into the living room, and or like the main part of the house. And we saw this door, and it was shut. And we thought, oh, okay, well, it's shut. I don't know what's making that noise. And we thought maybe it was like a raccoon that got inside, something like that. Well, as we're walking away, we hear just the slam, and we turn around, and the door was just open, so almost like it slammed open. So that kind of creeped us out, and we were just like, all right, forget this. So we walked into the woods, and we were walking around the woods, just talking about stuff. And then we start hearing constant slamming, like bam, 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 over and over and over again. So we run immediately to the house because we knew that that's probably what it was. So we went to the house, and the noises stopped. And when we got there and looked through the window, the door was shut again. Well, that's when it got real crazy, all right? So we were looking, and we could see out of the corner of the window, because there was a reflection, we saw something standing kind of halfway behind a tree. Um, I'll try to, yeah, halfway behind the tree, okay, up on a hill behind us. And he pointed at the window, he was like, look right there. And we turn around, and the thing moves behind the tree. And then we hear two more slams, and we turn around and look, and, the door's open now. And we start getting real freaked out, and then we turn back around, and that thing's standing up on the hill, and it looked almost like the thing I was talking about in the last Scary Stories one. It looked a lot like that, like the arms were all uneven. It looked fairly tall. I mean, you could tell by how broad the shoulders were and everything. It was very tall, and it was just kind of like a grayish, blackish, whitish type. I can't explain it. It was just a weird leathery color. And it was up there, and it basically jumped behind the tree and climbed up. And we could tell it climbed up because you could see like its kneecaps and its like elbows, like coming from behind the tree as it climbs. We could see that it was climbing. And so we get freaked out and we start running back to my house. And it's across this huge field. I don't know exactly how many acres, but I mean it's probably like a 10-minute walk, 5-minute run. I don't know. But we're pretty fairly far away from the house. So we're running, and as we're running, we hear the door start to slam off in the distance. And the crazy part is the door slams started getting louder and louder and louder the farther and farther away we got from them. And we came inside and we told my parents what happened. Of course, they didn't believe us. They were like, "Yeah, okay, sure." And yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's not, that's it. Joey,
Well, um,
make sure you're there.
I wow. I remember you were telling me that Darkman story before, and there's a lot more to it that you said. For how long did you
Yeah,
see
because I
him?
was trying to give the short version.
Yeah, no, go into
What?
detail, man. That's what we want. We want like detail and shit. Like I want like I don't remember exactly what you told me, so like I believe what you told me was you saw it like for months next to your dad's door.
Yeah, for a long time, I only told like a few occurrences though.
You can only like remember a couple.
Yeah, vividly, I can only remember a couple. I mean, I can remember, like looking down the hallway and seeing something, but I can't like remember it vividly enough, to actually tell a story on it.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that was pretty
And
interesting.
it kind of got to the point where it was just kind of just a normal thing. I know that sounds kind of crazy, like you'd be like, there's a guy, random black figure standing outside the door. You can't get used to that. But really, me and my brother, we almost got used to it as how much it happened. Because it was every single night, or whenever my dad took a nap, it was always there.
I
So we
mean,
just
I'd
almost
get
got
used
used
to
to
it
it.
by some point, but I'd still be scared out of my mind.
Yeah, we were still scared, but we got to the point where we weren't as scared of
Yeah,
it
you
because
just
we saw it
expected it.
wasn't hurting anything. Oh, another weird thing about it though was the second we moved out of the house, okay? Like the next week, my mom gets Lyme disease. And if anybody don't know what Lyme disease is, you can search it up. It's a horrible thing. But yeah, you can search up Lyme disease and see all the stuff about it. And then she gets all sorts of other like, she has skin cancer at one point, which that got taken care of. Thank Jesus, man. I would have died, bro. And then my dad had to get um, had to quit his job because he couldn't do it anymore, and he had had multiple surgeries on his back and stuff. So what me and my brother thought is maybe that figure had something to do with it. Maybe it was like I don't know. I don't want to sound like crazy. Maybe like a demon of some sort. I don't know. Something that maybe might have made them sick. I don't exactly I don't exactly know. But that we think that might have had something to do with it because it was just kind of weird because my parents were perfectly healthy one minute and then we move and then they just started getting really bad sick all the time. All right, I'm sorry. Go on, Mavis.
I don't need. Okay. Well, that was pretty good. You uploading videos on your channel yet?
Do I what?
Are you uploading channel on your channel yet?
Videos on my channel? Not yet. I'm gonna start
Alright, well,
sometime
anyway, I'm still gonna give
beginning
you a
of next
shout
month.
out. Go to Soren Penguin's channel. He's in my subscriptions list. I'll be put on my featured channels soon. And yeah, that was pretty interesting. So I believe you already told, just one more discussion. I believe you already told that, the door slamming one in the other video? Or is that just like a retelling of it, but from a different perspective?
I didn't. I never said the door slumming video or part. I might have. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. And another shout out to my friend on Xbox, Butterbro, 42 or 49. I really gotta look at his name again. I forget, guys. Friend on Xbox. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next video.